Welcome back to the Cayman Islands. My name is Corey and I will be your tour guide through our adventure of fingerpicking madness. The way that we're going to do this is I'm going to zoom up for the, get a little closer here so you can see what's happening exactly. And I'm going to kind of approach both hands differently. This is, a moderately advanced, song to play. So I'm going to go over the right hand and what the thumb and the fingers have to do and the role of each, and how to find some consistency among all of this. And then I'm going to tackle the shapes with the left hand as well. So there's kind of a lot going on, and it's going to take you a while to most likely to get used to this. Forgive me for not having a classical guitar. That's what they use, a nylon string. I don't own a nylon string. My steel string is kind of messed up, so here we go. We're on to the next best thing. You're also going to want a capo. You have to capo at the first fret. So get yourself a capo and let the madness begin. Okay, welcome back to the Cayman Islands. So, right now I'm going to talk a little bit about right hand and what the right hand's going to have to do to get the job done here. First of all, you're probably going to want to use your fingernails to play. I don't grow mine out real crazy like classical guys do. I just have them long enough to where they're just a little bit above the pad of the finger. And it's not super important, but you'll learn what works for you. I actually don't play on my thumbnail because I just find it feels weird, and I don't like using a thumb pick. So that's a personal preference, but that's the only thing I don't do with this. Now, you don't use the pinky, but you're going to have to use your thumb, your first, your middle, and your third. So the basic idea, I'm going to start here with our F major 13. Oops. New York wiring strikes again. So I'm going to start here with our F major 13, and I'll go over how to play this in just a moment. But until then, I just want you to be able to see the hand and what we're doing. So we have a pattern, really, where the thumb is going to be getting all the lower notes. So we have notes that are going to be on the 6th string, the 5th, and the 4th string. Those are all going to be done with the thumb, 6th, 5th, and 4th. Now, any notes that are done on the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd strings will be done with these corresponding fingers, where the 3rd finger will always be doing the 1st string. The middle finger will always be on the 2nd, and the 1st finger will always be on the 3rd string. So that's your symmetry. That's what you're going to have. Now you want to get used to doing this. Some pointers. What I've found useful in my own training is, as you do this, it's nice to keep the thumb in the lead. So the thumb is in the front. It's almost like hitchhiker style. You don't want to end up like this, where the thumb, as it moves down, impedes the path of the fingers. You don't want the thumb to ever get stuck in the middle of the fingers. You want it to where your range of motion, if it were extended all the way, your hand could open and close trigger style, this way, where the thumb comes to rest on the outside of the fingers. And the fingers can just nice and kind of curl nice up into, as if they'd form a loose fist. So kind of like that. That's what you're looking for, and this might take a while to get used to. The wrist is nice and straight as well. You don't want to hyperextend it or have any sort of funky angles or anything like that. Just things to consider, especially long term. You don't want to give yourself tendinitis or any sort of hand problems. So that's how you want to start to deal with the right hand. Now, some training for this, you can do this on any chord. I'm just picking the chord of the song just to keep our ears kind of in tune. And I like it. But is that you can take and you can kind of do sort of a claw grip, where you have your thumb in the front, and you have each of these fingers actually resting on the underside of the string that they're supposed to be playing. So 3rd finger is resting on the slight underside of the 1st string, middle finger is slightly under the 2nd, 1st finger is slightly under the 3rd string. And then you can start to actually kind of trigger with the thumb down and the fingers coming up. And do them together if you want. And what you want to get used to is whatever form you need to where your hand doesn't bounce like crazy. You want to make it to where your fingers actually can kind of come into a loose fist, and keep in mind it is an angle like this, where they can open and close comfortably without your hand floating around or floating up or getting misaligned. Now when you're comfortable doing this kind of an exercise like this, you want to be able to maybe independently work them. This takes a lot of work, but I'm just giving you some suggestions that will hopefully make life a little bit easier. So, with the pattern in this song, it does vary quite a bit, but the general rule is the thumb is always getting the bass note, and the thumb is usually picking at the beginning of the measure. And to some degree, it really helps you keep in line, it helps you keep on track, because as you move to a new chord, you know you're going to be doing the thumb and a combination of some higher string with another finger. Tricky stuff. So the beginning part, our F major 13, has a pattern of where it's thumb and third finger picking together. Thumb comes over and picks the fourth string. So thumb's on the sixth, third finger's on the first. Thumb comes to the fourth. Then first finger, then middle finger. So it's thumb third, thumb first, middle. And then back to your low string to finish it. Not for the faint. Welcome back to the medium zoom. Okay, so F major 13. This is actually pretty tricky. You're going to want to get used to playing with your thumb for this. And if you're a fan and you watch the video, you'll see they're doing the same. Is your thumb is getting the bass note, second fret, or kind of if you're treating the capo as 0, which I do, it's really kind of like the first fret. That's how it's notated as well. Documents at www.walkerguitar.com if you want the tab. It's available for you. And our little shape up top is third finger on the fourth fret. So I guess it's kind of like the third fret. Yeah, it just does get tricky to read. You have a little dominant 7 shape that's just shifted up the strings, but you have third finger, middle finger, pinky. No first finger. So you should be getting that, and you have an open top string. F major 13. Now if you throw our starting pattern over, you'll get everything you need. So that's the pattern. We're not playing the A string. Thumb has to navigate from the fourth to the sixth to the fourth string and back. Then our next piece, and the reason you need to use these fingers and your thumb is you're going to shift up, you're going to remove your third finger, change the bass note. Same finger picking all around. You just move your third finger from the fourth string to the sixth string. That's the G sus2 add 13 chord. Gotta love the names. It's only more intimidating that way. Next piece is you're gonna lift up your pinky, put down your first finger. So pinky lifts up, first finger comes down. And then you're going to do a different picking pattern, which is going to be thumb and middle. Middle because it's a second string note. You always want to keep your fingers on their respective strings for the duration of the song. It's thumb and middle, thumb comes down, and you're going to have to do this little shift where you lift up your first finger, put down your middle finger. So first finger's down, middle finger's up. Then your thumb comes down, and you're going to trade first finger for middle finger. The thumb goes to the 4th string and just does 4th string, 3rd string, 2nd string. Whoops. So if I do the passage on the G sus2 part, it's same finger picking pattern as before. With that section tacked on to the end. Okay, so our next part, C major 7. Slightly different pattern, but kind of similar, is that we're going to do thumb and middle finger together. And then thumb, oh, by the way, that's 5th string with the thumb. And then it's going to be thumb, 1st middle. And then back to the bass. Okay. Then you're gonna do that twice. Then you're gonna lift up. You're gonna lift off your 3rd finger to create your sort of pre-A minor 7. You're not all the way there yet. Your 1st finger isn't down, but you're doing 1 finger. You're just lifting off your 3rd. Same pattern. Then put down your 1st finger. You form your A minor 7. Same pattern, thumb and middle, and then thumb, 1st middle. So that part one more time. C major 7. Okay, so the bridge section here is the same chord. It's an F major 13, but we're not playing the high string, so I guess there's no 7th, and it doesn't matter. It's the same chord, but we're not going to be playing the top string. So in that case, we're not going to be using our 3rd finger for a little while. So you're going to do the same pattern of bass and the top note, so thumb and middle, and you're going to just do thumb, middle, thumb, 1st, middle again. Back to bass. So thumb, thumb, 1st, middle, thumb. Okay. Back to our G sus. We're just not playing the high string. And then you lift. You're going to do that once. Same pattern. And then you're going to lift off your pinky and do it open. Okay, so from the top again. Okay, now we have the hardest chord of the song. What did I call this? Yes, D sus2 over F sharp. It's actually quite tricky, but you can, well, document makes it easier. Anyway, we got a thumb. Thumb is on the 2nd fret, technically the 3rd, but 2nd on the document. 3rd finger's on the 4th string on the 5th fret, and your 1st finger is on the 3rd fret of the G string, and your middle finger's on the 4th fret of the G string. So we have 3rd fret, 5th fret, 3rd fret, 4th fret, No fifth string, and we're going to play the open top string. This is your D sus2 over F sharp. So pinky is the only finger that's free. You need a pretty big grip to be able to do this, and honestly I'm surprised he can do it on the classical guitar, which has a wider neck than my electric here. But it's great. This is kind of the only way you could fret this chord with any sort of ease. So same pattern now as we did with our opening chord. So it's same pattern. So you really want to practice that pattern. Okay, so it's going to do that 4 times. Then it goes back to our F major 13 2 times, and then it's going to do, really it's just an F major 13 with no fingers except the pinky. Just lift off everything, get a little break in the song, and you do that pattern, same pattern, 4 times. So I'm going to start from here. D sus over F sharp 4 times. F major 13 2 times. E minor 7 4 times. Okay, so from the beginning of the bridge, no high string. Shift up, back, lift off, okay, now we jump up to an E minor 7, E minor 9. I guess fingers is kind of your choice. I think third or pinky's nice, using the first finger here. I'm at the 8th fret, and that's on the D string, and the 9th fret on the top string. Same pattern as our opening pattern, except I'm using the open A string. Four times there, then you switch. Trade fingers, essentially. Third finger replaces the first finger. Same note, first finger comes back 2 frets on the G string. So those are now your notes. Same picking pattern. That's your A minor add 9. Pretty cool chord. I like this one quite a bit. And you're going to do that 4 times. Now when you're done with that, you're done with the bridge, you're done with all the parts of the song. Okay, so one time through the whole bridge now. Then you shift up. Back, lift off, shift up here, back here, and then back home.